Recently, I had a wake-up call. I had a conversation with a fellow designer who has completely shifted my perspective about my approach to my design career. And they have worked in high-performing design teams. And I'm not talking about the average run-of-the-mill here, companies that sell SaaS, and not that kind of SaaS, but SaaS. I'm talking about the design teams that lead Silicon Valley in terms of user experience. Their insights and perspectives are unlike anything else I've really heard. And I think what they're telling me is the truth. And I want to share that in this channel because I think the truth is important. I've talked a lot about product strategy and business thinking and soft skills in this channel, but in doing so, it seemed like I was downplaying one of the most important parts of being a designer. The core essence of what makes us designers is craft. What I'm about to share next may offend some people, but I think the people who truly listen and realize how impactful this advice is will benefit from it. And the truth is, if you're applying for hundreds of positions and you're not getting callbacks for interviews, and you have the relevant experience, that's because your portfolio is simply not good enough. You have to take an honest look at your portfolio and ask yourself, does this portfolio best represent what I can do? When I look at my portfolio, and don't get me wrong, it's not like I didn't spend a lot of effort or time on it, because I did, but when I look at my portfolio, I ask myself, is this the best I can do? And frankly, no. And why this is all important is because your portfolio determines the quality of opportunities that you can get. Sure, there are people that get lucky, whether that's through nepotism or just applying at the right time, and they are able to land jobs despite having below average design work. But the teams that do accept them also have below average design standards. And those are not the teams that you want to land in and stay in for the rest of your careers, because then you end up in this thing called the career death valley. What the career death valley is that you're basically stuck in these teams that have below average or mediocre design standards, and they output mediocre design work. And because of that, your portfolio is accumulated of all these mediocre projects. As a result, your future opportunities become narrower and narrower because the only teams that will accept you are the teams that have that same standard or below. Common signs of teams with poor design culture or just poor design output are teams that usually have minimal design leadership. They don't do innovative or challenging design work. They treat design as a support service. There are no other design roles like user research or content design, just simply product designers who are expected to do it all. And if you look at the product, you can just tell it's subpar design work. Even if you work in these design environments and you have good design work, you end up having to retrofit your good work into a poorly designed design system, and your projects get downsized to nothing like what you actually designed because their engineers are simply not capable of executing your vision. The only way to prevent this, if you have been in a team like this, or you are currently working in one, is to constantly seek out opportunities to improve your craft, to seek out projects to better your portfolio, so that you can get opportunities to join better design teams. This is important because you are the most employable in your 20s and 30s, so you want to make sure that you are protecting your future self and your future opportunities, because ageism is real in tech. Of course, this is easier said than done, because in most corporate environments, in most jobs, frankly, you end up having to do all these side quests that have nothing to do with improving yourself as a designer. Side quests like being in tons of meetings, providing documentation that no one ever reads, doing something your skip wants you to do simply because it's their opinion, working on dead-end projects that you know are dead-end. But despite all of this, you have to fight for your best interests because no one else will. What's at stake is the longevity of your career and ultimately your financial future. As a designer in an ever-changing industry, the only thing that stands the test of time is your craft, and your portfolio is the direct indication of your skill sets. In this market, unfortunately, there are much less opportunities than before. Design teams are constantly getting downsized. Even one of my previous design teams went from 20-something people to now 2. Sadly, I think it's becoming the norm with the rise of AI, where the expectations are higher than ever for designers, especially in craft. Now, this video is not saying that soft skills and product strategy are not important, because they definitely are, but what I am saying is that your portfolio determines the quality of opportunities you will get. So the better your portfolio is, the better opportunities you will get. This is a fact that will not change anytime soon. As a designer, I firmly believe in the universal principle that the world gives you based on what you are, not what you want. And the best way to show what kind of designers we are through our portfolios. Anyways, thanks for coming by. I hope this advice was inspiring rather than demotivating, because even though right now it's an economically tough time, I fully believe we can utilize this time to maximize our skill sets, our craft, and to better prepare for future opportunities. For the next coming weeks, I have some pretty major interviews, so I'll be working on my portfolio, whether that is the website or the presentation. So if you want to stay tuned, then subscribe, and I will see you next week. Cheers!